Hi, I hope you're having a great week. I wanted to take a couple minutes and just talk with you today about a wonderful behavioral coping strategy for that little bugaboo that we call emotional eating. Now, one of the wonderful things about Take Shape for Life, it was really based on giving you tools that you need in order to have really successful long-term weight loss and health in your life. And one of the most important tools we know is being able to give you all the support that you need. So that's why Take Shape for Life is really based all around having a health coach, myself, someone who you can call and will call you and just keep you accountable and give you good tips. But one of the other things that Take Shape provides for you is having nurses and doctors calls. And these are calls that you can get on every week and just listen to the nurses who a lot of times will go over different chapters in Dr. Anderson's Habits of Health book. They cover lots of cool topics, and they'll also answer questions. The doctor, and that call, by the way, is on Monday night at 8:30. The doctor's call is Wednesday night, and that's just a call that you can call in and actually talk to any one of the doctors that are on there who are actually working with patients on the program. So wonderful, wonderful support resources. And I just love the nurses call that they had on last week. So I wanted to share a great technique with you that they went over on Monday. And this technique was developed at Duke University, and it was based on a lot of different behavioral systems that they have found worked. And they just named it. It was a mnemonic. You'll see what I mean by that in a minute, called H.A.L.T. And H.A.L.T stands for different things that when you start to go to emotional eating, that you want to stop and check in. Let's start with the H of H.A.L.T. H meaning, am I really hungry? You know when you're stressed out and your boss has been mean to you, or you just had a fight with your spouse and you immediately run to the refrigerator and put your head in there and start? This is when you want to halt, take a few minutes to check in and ask yourself, am I really hungry? So I think a lot of us have actually lost the ability to really know if we're hungry. Sometimes so many of these other clues we take as hunger when they're really not. So by stopping and really checking into the feeling, it can help us put a barrier there, kind of like our kids when we put them in timeout. The first thing you might want to do is stop and just take a big glass of water. Sometimes hunger feels, or thirst actually feels like hunger. So take a big, deep, glass of water. Wait a few minutes. Give yourself a chance to breathe and check in again. Now, if you truly are hungry and it's not quite time yet for one of your MetaFast meals, you might want to have one now anyway. Those meals are so great because they're under 120 calories. They're going to come back and balance your blood sugar and give you all the vitamins and minerals. So even if you have an extra one or two in the day, that's not going to slow your weight loss up or cause a problem. But it'll give you something to eat and a little bit of nutrition that hopefully will stop that. Or you can also have, your celery sticks or some bouillon or one of your approved snacks. So that's the H in H.A.L.T. Let's go to the next one, A, which is anger. Anger is one of those emotions that a lot of us very uncomfortable with. We don't really know what to deal with that anger feeling. So a lot of times we stuff the anger by stuffing our face so that we don't feel it. So let's stop that behavior. And when we know that what we're really feeling is anger, let's deal with that. Anger has an emotion attached to it that's very physical. And so if you can get out and do something physical, oftentimes you can disperse that emotion. Emotion, right, is simply energy in motion. Let's move that energy forward. So whether it's taking, again, a time out, if you have time in your day to do that, and just get out for a walk. Just start by taking yourself out of the environment that you're in now and moving, which will help to disperse some of that. One time somebody told me that a great, great trick to do too is to take a pillow. Of course, this is when you're in your house and can do this, but take a pillow and just really just punch on it, punch until there's absolutely nothing left. And one time when I was really angry and didn't have another way to express that, I did just that, and it was a really amazing experience because I started to really get in touch with it and just move it, and I was really able to move it out and get in touch with some deep emotions that needed to be taken out. So hopefully that will help. All right, so now we have the hunger, we have anger. How about L? L is for loneliness. Oftentimes, especially if we live by ourselves, we can feel lonely. Although I also know a lot of people who feel very lonely, even in a crowded room. So getting very clear about, boy, this is loneliness, and I don't need to feed the loneliness with food. Instead, go out and find some groups that you might want to be involved with. Come to maybe some of the health coaching activities. We love having people there. Of course, we're all like-minded, talking about the same things. I would recommend going to www.meetup.com, which is just like it sounds, meetup.com, and find some things that you love to do. There are groups all over Atlanta doing all kinds of cool activities. So you could meet some new people and really enjoy a hobby. Maybe you love to sew or to quilt. I just started a meetup group for balanced walking, which is walking with Nordic walking poles, and I'll be sharing some of that with you later too, if that's something that you want to get involved in. So do something like that instead of feeding the loneliness. And I know this is getting long, so let's end with T, which is tired. Very, very common that when we're feeling tired, our immediate reaction is to eat, right? And sometimes having a low blood sugar or maybe going past your 3 hours you can get tired. And so kind of check in. Are you off your eating schedule? And if so, you want to have one of your meals, obviously. Or do you just need to kind of get yourself away by maybe taking a quick power nap or just shutting your eyes and concentrate on your breathing, bringing the air in through your nose, down into your belly, and then exhaling slowly through the mouth. Sometimes just doing this deep breathing exercise, even for a few minutes, can really re-energize yourself. So that's the H.A.L.T strategy, and I hope that some of these things will kind of hit home with you, and you'll be able to use them to get some control over emotional eating. And the last thing that I want to mention is to really take a listen to the story that you're telling yourself in your head. If what you're saying to yourself is, I just I can't get all the way to my goal. I start a program like this, and 3 weeks in, I get bored, and then I just start eating. So this is going to be the same thing. None of this is true. This is simply a story that you're telling yourself in your head. And you know what? You can always rewrite that story. Rewrite the story so that you have the happy ending that you want and you deserve. And that is, I can do it. I will do it. I'm doing it. Have a great weekend, and I hope to speak to you soon. Take good care.